So our lead this hour comes from the NFL. Deshaun Watson. Did we get a verdict from the judge, the former judge? No. Watson continuing to wait for the decision to come down the pike there. There were meetings in Delaware. You might remember a former federal judge will decide the suspension of Deshaun Watson. We are told the soon-to-be Cleveland Browns quarterback and his lawyers have already decided that there's only one way this can go, and that is that Deshaun Watson does not get punished in any meaningful way. And if you didn't hear about why that is, maybe you missed it, well, it's essentially this. If Watson is punished the full Monty the NFL wants, then his team is preparing legal papers. Learned that Deshaun Watson intends to file a federal lawsuit against the NFL if the league does go forward with suspending him for the entire upcoming 2022 season, which would be an open-ended suspension. Now, Yahoo! Charles Robinson of Yahoo! He reports that if Watson doesn't get what he wants, then sue, and sue you is the plan. Now, Watson recently reached a massive financial settlement, said to be in the millions of dollars, with 20 of the 24 women who have accused him of being a pervert. The Texans, meanwhile, as a franchise, they said, hey, hold my beer. And they reached settlement with all 30 of the women who had made claims that the franchise helped Deshaun Watson. They were culpable. The Texans obviously agreeing with that. Otherwise, why would you pay out the money? You're not giving out money here. So that's where the story has been, but the latest wrinkle is a lawsuit. So the question, Deshaun Watson shifting to federal court, a good idea or a bad idea? It is neither a bad idea or a good idea. It is a terrible idea. I've got Joker, fullback, and shovel. And we'll combine all of these things together, and that will be how we put together this Maller monologue. So to kick off, Deshaun Watson's camp does not have a leg to stand on when it comes to this case. It's rather comical that they would go to the lengths to leak this story to a useful idiot in the media, in this case Charles Robinson of Yahoo, and I'll tell you why. It's like that whole fake tough guy bravado stuff. As we understand it, Watson, if this was a card game, he's got a couple of jokers and a couple of twos. And the NFL's got a full house. And so let me hold your hand, and I'll explain to you exactly what's going on. I'm explaining to you like you're in kindergarten. Under labor law, the NFL Players Association, they wouldn't likely even get out of the preliminary round of a federal court of appeals. Now, why is that? Because they're going to sue. What are they going to sue about? They're going to sue about a process that the NFL Players Association collectively bargained with the NFL? In other words, if that goes to a court, how would that go down? So the NFLPA and Deshaun Watson file a lawsuit, and they say, this is unfair. It's unfair. It's not fair. I should be allowed to touch and grab and smell and all that and leave tartar sauce wherever I want. And I can't believe this. I pay these women off, and I'm still getting punished by the NFL. But they agreed to the punishment. The NFL Players Association agreed to the process. And so now, essentially, they'd be unhappy with the outcome, but their only basis for the suit would be precedent. That's also a problem. What Deshaun Watson is accused of is unprecedented. So what do you do with that? No NFL player has ever had 24 random women make these kind of accusations against them. There have been players that have multiple women accuse them of doing bad stuff, but never has it gotten to this level where it's a case where Watson's got the all 22 plus 2. There's no precedent for this. The league, what they hand down as punishment whether it's a year, 2 years, 3 years, indefinite, lifetime ban, chance of appeal, whatever they do, that would be the precedent. That would be the new normal. Because, again, it's never been to this point what Deshaun Watson was involved in. Now, furthermore, if the NFL Players Association knows it's going to lose based on the fact that they agreed to the collective bargaining agreement with the NFL over how these things would be handled and adjudicated, why would they sue, you ask? Well, that part is simple. The goal here is to drag it out. Drag it out now. NFL camps open up in less than 10 days from today. Less than 10 days away. A little over a week from NFL training camp starting to open up. And so this would be a stalling tactic for Deshaun Watson. If they actually follow through on this, the NFL Players Association, with Watson's attorneys, would be a fullback. They'd be the blocking fullback, running, trying to clear a hole here, clearing a path so that Deshaun Watson would be allowed to play and cash some game checks while this goes through the court system. It's odd, though, because Watson is not getting paid all that much to actually play football. Right? Remember that. We talked about this in previous episodes of the show. Cleveland made sure they bent over backwards to the creepster. They gave him a sweetheart deal where it's all signing bonus money. It's peanuts in comparison to his actual salary for playing in games. Games don't matter. They gave you the money anyway. And so why are you trying to play? You're getting the money, the lion's share of the money, or in this case, the Brown share of the money. And it appears the NFL is the one doing the leaking here. We often play a parlor game, who's doing the leaking? Well, this is kind of obvious that it's the NFL Players Association, that they're the one using buddies here in the media to get that message out, that we're going to sue, we're going to go to federal court, knowing that this is likely not going to go their way. It doesn't matter. The NFL is putting that bravado, that tough guy act up, and they're the ones laying the groundwork in all of this. All right, parting shot. So when will the Deshaun Watson story end? Is today the day an announcement comes down? Possible, but it doesn't end. Even when the announcement comes down, it does not end. Because if it goes the way of the NFL, then Watson will file a lawsuit. If it goes the way of Deshaun Watson, then Roger Goodell will just sign a couple of papers and say, I'd like to change that a little bit. Let me add a few more games on. And then it goes to a lawsuit. So this story has legs, and there's no end date. There's no expiration date on the milk. And Watson, it's kind of like this. Like it will stick to Deshaun Watson like crap to a shovel. Okay, this is not going to go away. It's like stink on poop, flies on a turd, however you want to say it. That is Deshaun Watson the rest of his career. Watson is forever known as this guy. That's the way it is. And through this entire episode, payouts of hush money for Watson to the women, 20 of the 24, by the Texans, 30 for 30 with the women. And so he's in a parallel dimension, though. Watson continues to think that he did absolutely nothing wrong, and he's got supporters. They wear Cleveland Brown underwear, and they've got Cleveland Brown shirts and hats and things like that, and they support him blindly because he's going to wear the right laundry, and he's going to be the next great savior of the team, and he's the Messiah, and the Messiah is always right. Let him do what he wants. Who cares? The Texans, though, again, they paid all 30 of the women. Watson has cut checks to 20 of the 24. He has outstanding offers to pay off the other 4 women. And that would indicate that Deshaun Watson had crossed some boundaries, unless he just decided, I have a lot of money, let me play Santa Claus, and I'll just start passing out money. You get money, you get money, you over there, you get money. Everybody gets some money. Everybody. You want money, you in the bed, you get money too. Everybody gets money.